So we're live. Thank you everybody for coming into this pre-launch party hosted by the Open Web Sandbox Guild. Thank you very much. There you go, Alejandro. Thank you very much. I know it's the AM over there in Sydney. Hopefully the lockdown is not that bad. But Sophia, please, you're running the show in the sense of hosting us. Thank you very much. So Sophia.
Yes, thank you for giving the word to me. So we're very excited about having this pre-launch party indeed for the Metapool together with Claudio. It's nice to warm up the public a little bit. It's nice to get the questions, to answer them, to clear up the air before you guys go on mainnet. So we're excited to hear all the questions and to proceed with that. Thank you for coming, everyone.
So I think a round of introductions would be a good way to go. So we have merchants of NEAR in here on the live stream. We have Silicon Craftsmen as well, and I think Sam also representing the Open Web Sandbox and other initiatives. I think it would be good just to give the audience who's who here on the pre-launch party. So, so Thomas, you wanna introduce yourself?
Yeah, hey guys, I'm Thomas. I go by Zucchini Fries on Telegram. I'm the head of merchants in NEAR. Yeah, just a quick description of what we do. We kind of tackle the financial side of NEAR. Obviously, cryptocurrencies investment opportunity for most people. So we do a lot of technical analysis on the price of NEAR, weekly and monthly contests. Just trying to predict where the market's going, see how much momentum is there. It's been very good these last couple of months or a couple of weeks. We were kind of in the slump, but now we're in kind of a mini bull market with layer one infrastructures are doing really well. So that's kind of what we do. You can see our website, merchantsnear.com, if you're interested, learning about what's going on with NEAR price points, what resistance is, what trends are happening. You can join us on Telegram. So that's kind of where we are. We're excited to launch the Metapool. Another opportunity for people, investors and holders alike. So it's a good opportunity for everyone in here.
So Alejandro, you want to go for it?
Yeah, how's it going? I'm AVP. I'm leading the Silicon Craftsmen product and UX Guild. So very simply, we're just trying to help everyone in the NEAR ecosystem build better products. So yeah, we are working at every stage of the product design, from ideation, validation, go-to-market. We're doing some work now around user testing. And yeah, if there's anything that we can do to help you explore an idea and build a better product, we are there for you.
Perfect. So Sam, you wanna introduce yourself as well? Sam Toshi. You're mute, mate.
Not sure if he can be speaking actually, but I will do this for him just in case, because I know that he is busy, so could be that he is not available. But anyhow, so we are representing the Open Web Sandbox, which is this incubating space for new people, but also for the projects that are already on top, building on top of the NEAR ecosystem. And our goal is basically to connect the right people with each other to facilitate more collaborations. So what we're doing, we're letting people to find projects that they're interested in, and we are helping and guiding them in engaging with these projects, and also finding new interesting opportunities and maybe joining those projects eventually. So for me, I think it's very interesting to see the Metapool evolving, especially with all the outsourcing potential tasks that can be coming to the sandbox. We have a lot of people that are interested in DeFi and any kind of applications in the domain. So it would be really interesting to see how much interest we get from people. And yeah, I'm looking forward to further collaborations. And Sam is our graphic designer, by the way. I didn't say about him anything, but he is taking care of our NFTs which are the proof of participation, basically, for the monthly parties that we hold every month. And DeFi might be one of them potentially in the next coming month. So Claudio, you're already in advance invited to all of them, pretty much.
Yeah, happy to be part of that. So I think there's well, just 2 people right now on the live stream. If you have some questions regarding Metapool, please feel free to ask your questions. That's why we put this set up this Q&A, this pre-launch party. So the date for launch is going to be August 23rd. So it's this coming Monday. So we're just 72 hours, 96 hours and change from launching and being on mainnet. Really excited about that. So you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. But if not, then I think we will leave it up to the Silicon Craftsmen and also merchants of NEAR to ask some questions regarding Metapool, and I will happily answer them, and so we can get the ball rolling. So who's going to be first? Who wants to go first asking questions?
Cool. I got one question. So we create an stNEAR. Is there a fee? What's the fee associated between like unstaking, staking, and then what's the liquidity pool take on NEAR? Because I know some of the pools take around 5 to 10% for staking rewards. What's Metapool's take on fees?
Yes, so we have several fees that the protocol is applies to the different features inside the platform. For right now, for the staking, so we're taking 1.5% from the staking rewards. So it's very competitive regarding validator staking or normal validator staking. So and that's one fee. Then and that's when you unstake through the normal process. Then you have the liquidity unstaking, which means that you will be depositing your NEAR, you will get an stNEAR. Then that's basically an IOU, and what it does is that token is accruing in value because it represents the amount of stake NEAR plus the staking rewards. And regarding that, it's really important to understand that when you unstake, you have 2 means of unstaking: the liquid unstaking and the normal unstaking. If you unstake on the normal route, then what we do is just 1.5% out of the staking rewards we're going to be taking out. We're going to be that's the fee. And when you liquid unstake, that will be a variable, right? It could go from 0.5% all the way to 3%. And it basically depends on the amount of NEAR that are on the liquidity swap pool. So we have a swap pool where token holders of NEAR can go there and deposit their NEAR. They don't get stNEAR because it's not a liquid stake. It's not staked. But what it does is that this pool helps other users provide Metapool with the with the reserves to execute the liquid unstaking, right? But they will get part of that 3% that we charge for the liquid unstaking. 75% of those fees goes to the liquidity providers of the liquidity swap pool. And then one thing to consider is that when you provide liquidity, you will get rewarded with Meta tokens for doing so. This will be based on the amount of tokens that you provide in the liquidity pool times a multiplier, and this multiplier will vary. If you go to the tokenomics page, and I'll be sharing this right here. If you go to the website, narwallets.com, you go all the way down, you'll see the tokenomics, and you can see kind of the structure of the awards. I'll be sharing right now in a few minutes a kind of like an infographic on it, so we have more clarity on it. So if you give me just a few seconds, I can bring that up. But basically, yes. So we generate those fees, and then we also compensate with meta governance tokens. So so basically, we're bootstrapping the protocol, right? So hopefully, I answered that question. Sorry that I dragged on my feet on it a little bit.
No, that was good. Just yeah, I think it's important to understand the fee structure of these pools. You know, a lot of them. I think right now the standard is like 5-10%. So I think 1%, the 2%, 1.5% staking, and then the variable fixed fee is very competitive in the current staking marketscape.
Yeah, and one of the things that Claudio talked about, I think would have been maybe the last AMA, or maybe it was Lucio. I think that one of the aims of Metapool is that through I guess market power of being able to aggregate a lot of stakers, they're actually aiming to, I guess, force or pressure all the pools to become really competitive and basically lower them to an acceptable benchmark, and pools outside of those parameters won't be considered. So it's actually really interesting to see how Metapool is sort of injecting themselves in the transaction, but instead of being a middleman extracting value, it's actually serving to equalize both the decentralization of the network, but also the fees charged by validators, and making it in a way that it's competitive for them, for the users, and for everyone involved. Is that an accurate representation, Claudio?
Yes. So one of the things, and I'm here showcasing the rewards. This is gonna have like a period when we launch. Then it's 3 weeks of incentivizing the multipliers, and we can go into this a little bit further down. But yeah, and this was a question also that was brought up on Twitter, right? Are we going to be seeing a fluctuation or migration of stNEAR from validators into Metapool? And you need to understand that we do not have any validators. We don't have any validator nodes. We don't manage, and we're not part of any validator network as well. What we're doing is that we're going to grab that NEAR, and then we're going to be distributing it to the top performing validators. Some of them, to be honest, will return that NEAR, that stake NEAR, that unstaked NEAR might come back to those validators, right? The only thing is that we're going to be looking and analyzing their performance more tightly in the name of the users. So we're basically benefiting the users in this sense. And validator nodes and need to understand that it's important, that accountability is really important in order for NEAR token holders to provide trust in the network. So I think we're helping in that sense, Alejandro. And yes, we're serving our NEAR token holders. Those are our main customers. Those are the people that we're serving. Eventually, also node validators will be providing some tools for node validators as well, in order to provide more transparency in the sense of how Metapool is distributing NEAR tokens. I don't know if I answered your question correctly, or if I need to rephrase something, Alejandro.
Yeah, that was pretty good. And a parallel that I just thought of is that in the same way that there are, yield farming optimizer protocols out there where they aggregate all the yield farming opportunities and they show you statistics and then create strategies for you to be able to tie together more than one opportunity. I think that in a similar way, you may be able to say that Metapool is like a staking optimizer or a staking farming optimizer. So it removes the complexity from the individual user to have to sift through a lot of information and to have to constantly monitor and try to understand a new world. And it shifts that onus onto the protocol, the Metapool protocol, to automatically go through the information, standardize all the decentralized process, and hopefully the stability fees. So I think that it really is a win-win for everyone. I think it's hilarious that I am so excited about the launch of Metapool, and I already started on staking my own tokens that I actually started looking at the Explorer and monitoring the total amount of NEAR staked in the protocol, because I fear that Metapool is going to be so successful that for a brief period, all the NEARs in existence are going to go out of the existing validators and into Metapool. And I was like, well, what's going to happen to the network in those 2 days? So maybe I'm a little bit too bullish.
No, I think at the end of the day is, and I think as an ecosystem, we're in a transition in a transition into a growth phase that has been compounding over the last year and a half, and it's normal that sometimes no, changes are difficult for any community to grasp. But if we focus on, for us, is focusing on three things. One is how stable and decentralized is the network? Are we providing that, right? Are we helping that? Two, is security in the network as well is really important. Diversification is part of that as well. And we're putting our grain of sand into it, just to provide a platform for that is catered more to the user, and for the user to have a choice. Later down the roadmap, our focus would be kind of like other liquid staking solutions like Lido, that the user comes in and they select the validators that they wanna stake their tokens in. So I think that's kind of a normal how can I say, evolution of the platform. But let's knock on wood that the launch goes good. And in regards to startup pauses question, yes, the contracts have been reviewed by the New York core team. Eugene have had a look into it. What is going to go to mainnet on August 23rd? We are gonna go through an update maybe after the community launch, and Eugene is gonna look into the stuff that we're building as well. So we got the NEAR core team looking at it. So really keen on that. I know that's the security of the platforms and protocols coming into NEAR is gonna be a really important factor. I think the issue with REF really pointed this out. So we got some air coverage from the NEAR protocol team, NEAR core team. So really happy about that. Thank you very much for the question, Startup Pause. I don't know if anybody has any more questions. Please drop them into the chat, and so Thomas and Alejandro can grab it, and we can take the discussion there. More comments. I just put in here like an infographic on how it works, right? I know that liquid staking solutions have been out there in other layer 1 protocols. Metapool is going to be the first liquid staking platform on NEAR. And this is how it works, basically, right? You have two options: provide the liquidity to the NEAR swap pool, or you can stake directly. We are launching as well the governance token. Hey, Bernard, we're just talking about exactly that question, right? So this is how it works. Basically, NEAR token holders, they can go into Metapool. They will have two choices. They can either stake with us, or they can provide liquidity to the swap pool. On those two features that we're offering, you will get compensated with meta tokens for that. That's the native governance token of the protocol. Really important, and just for you to understand, it does have it does. I'll get to your second question a little bit, Bernard, and also Thomas, Alejandro, if you would like to also pitch in on how on that question from Bernard, and just you'll have a couple of minutes to think it over. And so you have these two options. You'll get compensated with meta. One really important factor into this is that both that the meta tokens will be locked for until November 23rd of this year. So whatever meta you accrue during the launch period with the multipliers, and then afterwards as well, will be locked until November 23rd. That is because we need to come up with also the governance of the protocol. One very important factor as well is that the meta pool is launched on the Sputnik V2 version of it. Is a DAO, so it is right now that DAO is governed is the council is made out of three organizations inside the NEAR ecosystem, which is Open Shards Alliance, the NEAR Hispano Guild, and NAR Wallets. So right now, that's the council is made out of those three organizations. Later on, of course, it will evolve, but just for now, to have somebody in place, we've chosen those three organizations inside the NEAR ecosystem. Then you have the third feature, which is the unstaking. That means that when you stake NEAR tokens, you will get an IOU or an NEP 141 token, which is called stNEAR. What stNEAR does is that you can grab, and that's liquid. That won't be locked. So you can go ahead and use that token and on other DeFi platforms. Hopefully, NearPad is also on the lookout. So we're just providing this first Lego brick. Right now, there's no utility for stNEAR directly, but hopefully the platforms will get into place and start working on integrating it. Then the unstaking part. The unstaking part has two options. You can either unstake through the normal route, which will be the cooldown period of 56 to 65 hours, or you can liquid unstake. When you liquid unstake, you will get your NEAR back with the rewards, plus meta tokens as well. You will think right now, why are we providing this? Why are we providing meta tokens for users that are on staking? It is because on this 3-week period, we are bootstrapping the whole platform. So we need activity in all three features, which is providing liquidity to the liquidity swap pool, providing NEAR for staking, and then also incentivize users to unstake their NEAR, right? So it's up to you to decide. Okay, so hopefully I had some questions there. If not, please go to the Discord, to our Discord server that we have. If you go to narwallets.com, you can just go and click on the link below to get into the Discord server. And just a quick
I've got a question, Claudia, as well.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Well, first of all, it's great to see the comments and the NEAR family coming together. Nothing more that I love than an online party, especially at 1:30 a.m. because I feel like I'm high, but I'm not even. Nothing. I was going to ask, I think that for the regular user, it's fascinating to see how the protocol works, but I think that after the successful launch, we're going to see that most of the use starts after they've staked. Namely, now the user has stNEAR on their wallet, they have successfully been able to liberate all the capital that they were staking, and now they're probably wondering what options they have for the stNEAR. So I'm just wondering what those next steps would look like, I guess, like in general as a value proposition, and maybe if you have any alpha leaks of what we can expect in the short to medium term of any potential use cases for the stNEAR or any potential partnerships in the pipeline.
Yes, so definitely, we're still in early discussions. We've been heads down and just having everything ready for mainnet launch. The partnerships, we're in talk with a couple of known platforms outside the NEAR ecosystem as well. Of course, we're talking to Ref. We're talking also to Skyward as well. Right now, to be honest, we do not plan to do in the immediate future a token sale of Meta, just because we think that this is the community launch by itself would be enough in order for us for the platform to be maintained. you can go into the tokenomics as well. We have some reserves in order that if we're finding it difficult for the protocol to be maintained by itself by the fees, then we will be we have at least we're stating it that yes, we might do a sell. Will it be to Skyward? Well, we'll see. Regarding the usage of stNEAR, well, I'll leave it up to Raf and Nearpad. We're kind of like kicking the ball into their side of the court, right? In order for them to like, hey, this is an asset class you can use. I believe that it provides value. It is an asset not prone to be part of a pool, because this asset is accruing in value every epoch, every 12 hours. So, but it can be used. For example, we had an open discussion with OIN Finance this last Monday, and that asset, that digital asset, is good for OIN Finance, right? It could be used as a collateral. It could pay off loans and debts as well by itself, right? So hopefully those and hopefully those platforms are coming, right? I think there's a lot of expectations on Nearpad. We're showing them hard today, but I'm not part of that project, nor am I associated with it. So just quote unquote, be crystal clear on it. But yeah, so just happy to collaborate. I think it's a permissionless. So the idea behind any permissionless protocol is that anybody can use use the assets or the digital assets being created. Sometimes to good use, sometimes to bad use. Yes, we know that's part of the deal. We know that whoever is gonna do bad things with it are gonna do it, whether it is for their benefit or the community. So there's a lot of unknown unknowns, to be honest. But this is part of being on the frontier, right? This is part of being on the edge of any blockchain protocol. So really happy to be here and looking forward to it. And just to answer Bernard's question, will it be helpful to NEAR? Yes, I believe it is, right? I believe this is a key Lego brick that needs to be out there. And I think the time is now, right? I think we have good timing. I know we're in a kind of like a bull cycle, but who cares if it's a bear or a bull cycle? The idea is launch this Lego bricks, start building on top of them, and just generate value for the users. At the end of the day, our goal is to benefit NEAR token holders, and if you benefit them, then you benefit NEAR as a whole, as a protocol.
Yeah, just to piggyback on that, I think it's a really strong thing for NEAR. I mean, obviously the price has been pumping the last few days, but yeah, I mean, a lot of layer ones have different mechanisms to value to reward token holders. Ethereum just had their EIP, or London hard fork, which include EIP 1559, which kind of burns some of the fees. So that strengthens Ethereum as a holder, but also NEAR now has Metapool. Piggyback on what StarPaw says, it basically spreads the liquidity across multiple pools. So right now it's very black box on what pools are doing, how much fees are charging. You kind of just pick the one with the lowest fees. But with Metapool, this kind of simplifies the selection process as a user. So you can just choose Metapool, and they will distribute the liquidity across different pools. So that it kind of adds to decentralization of network. It strengthens that as a network standpoint. Also, it gives you value, jittering meta tokens, and allowing you to kind of get value as a holder. And then answering Hakuna's question, I don't believe how to buy NEAR. Is there a meta liquidity? I don't believe there's a token sale. I think the only way to earn meta at this point is to join the pool and stake through it. Is that correct, Claudio?
Yeah, exactly. Just that's why I put this infographic on what is stNEAR. So yeah, that's the only way to get the meta is by staking, by being a liquidity provider, and also by unstaking, at least in the first 3 weeks. So it's a governance. One thing really important, it is a governance token, right? We are not, the idea that we're hesitant on a sale is that it is a price discovery process, yeah, it is a price and discovery process, and we're not too keen on that because at the end of the day, this is a protocol run fully by a Sputnik DAO. So we want that, and and to be honest, it is also an experiment to launch something as a DAO from the get-go. It's going to be right now, like I told you, it was three organizations in the council, which is Near Hispano, which is a guild, NAR Wallet, which is a company, and Open Charts Alliance, which is a guild as well. So I think there's a good balance there. And I think we're hearing from the users through Near Hispano. We're hearing through a company being behind the protocol, which is NAR Wallets, and then another validator guild, which is the Open Charts Alliance also. So yeah, it's a bet, and to be honest and be transparent, it is a bet we're making on the protocol and on the NEAR ecosystem and on the NEAR communities as well. So hopefully it'll be a good bet. Lots of learnings for sure. So hopefully this won't be the last time we do a Q&A, and we'll be sharing more information as we go along.
Yeah, and I think, Claudio, if I can just add some of my perspective into the role of stNEAR and Meta. I really like the concept of like money Legos, which goes to show the composability of the DeFi ecosystem. I think it originates on the Ethereum DeFi world, but it's the same for DeFi all over the place. And I think that stNEAR and Meta are going to be two big components of a larger web of composable pieces. So I think that if you were to think out of it as a user right now, we're likely to see more, I guess, value or uses for the stNEAR more immediately. And I'm really excited to see which teams and projects step up to provide use for that stNEAR, namely a place where you can deposit it and take out a loan. So you use stNEAR as collateral and take out a loan in stablecoin, or even issue a stablecoin through OIN Finance or whatever that may look like. And later down the line, probably something like that with Meta. But once the protocol has been, I guess, more established, once people understand a bit better the governance, when we have had some price discovery mechanisms so people know what criteria or on what basis to buy and what a fair price would be. So I think that it's really exciting to get these basic blocks in place. And yeah, I think that I can't understate how important stNEAR is going to be to unlock a lot of value in the ecosystem and to enable a lot of other players to come in. Claudio, I'm not sure if you've seen some of the new features or I guess functionality that some other players in the DeFi world have been including. And if we were to speculate that some of them may expand over to Aurora, or maybe even that people may send stNEAR over to Ethereum over the Rainbow Bridge. I don't know if you've seen or what your thoughts would be on people creating, say, like a lending pool on SushiSwap. I know that Sushi is going now into lending, and it's actually kind of open source. So I think anyone can create a lending pool where you put the collateral and then start. Basically, the community could kickstart that market themselves.
Yeah, so definitely, yeah, I think what was just announced regarding Sushi getting into the ecosystem and partnerships there, I think there's a lot of possibilities. I think for us is coming down the road would be how can we create for us, one of the objectives is to create a PEG-NEAR, which is basically any P141 token that doesn't accrue in value and that can be leveraged or used and AMMs, right? So that's coming down the pipeline. That's something that Eugene, Lucio, and Alan will be working on. Well, Eugene more on the having a look into it, that we're not exposing ourselves or near token holders to be precise. How are we getting? Are we getting? How can we say? How can we bring in best practices from other layer one solutions into NEAR? There's definitely a lot of stuff happening in the Solana ecosystem as well that we need to be looking into. I think there's a lot of interesting things going on there. Of course, we know right now Ethereum is the top layer one, creating and innovating on it. We really need to be mindful as well, because we've known that sometimes going fast and break things is not in the user's best interest. And that's why we built the DAO around it, right? It's the community can make proposals and get the community around it to vouch for those changes to the behavior of the protocol. So I think that's where this opens up a lot of possibilities, and that it's not up to us as the founders of the protocol, Lucio, myself, to be proposing, but more so the community, the ecosystem, right? If they see there's a so could there potentially be a liquidity pool on Refinance with stNEAR? Not really recommended, Rin, because as I spoke before, stNEAR is accruing value every 12 hours. So, but at the end of the day, in the pool, it cannot reflect that value. It will be just one stNEAR. So you're basically gonna lose money if you put it on a pool, or maybe not. Maybe there's a way that it can work. For us right now, as a vision that we have as a founders, we don't see it as a good Lego brick for a pool. More so, more of a collateral solution. But then again, Rin, the sky's the limit, right? We've just put it. We will be putting out in mainnet this digital asset, and it's up to the ecosystem to also decide where they will be using it. So really happy and about that. Nervous, of course, because at the end of the day, you never know how things are going to turn out. But at least we're confident in that we're providing a lot of value to the ecosystem. Yes, go right ahead.
Claudio, I love that you bring up the, I guess, learning from other L1s. I find it really interesting that just before the last winter break started, the very brief winter break, the Binance Smart Chain DeFi ecosystem was growing exponentially. And I think very few people believe that any DeFi ecosystem could take over Ethereum. And just before the bear market started, there was starting to be speculation about whether BSC was going to overtake Ethereum. So I think that we're starting to see something very similar with Solana now. The DeFi ecosystem is growing very, very fast. And I think that if people are not paying attention, they may be underestimating some of the players there. So I guess it's a twofold question. The first one is how closely or friendly, I guess you'd say, we are with the Solana ecosystem. I know that we share some similarities around Rust smart contracting language, and very young active communities. But also a question that has come up, I think, in the Telegram channels would be, how closely are we working with them in terms of sharing resources and identifying similar stages in the journey. Namely, I know that Lucio has helped liquid staking solutions on both NEAR and Solana. So it'd be really insightful if we could learn, I guess, his lessons, and how that would make, I guess, either platform stronger. I think Solana launched a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so definitely cross chain is the future, right? I think it has been a really good bet that NEAR made when they announced the bridge, when they announced Aurora, and I believe that there's a lot of potential there for cross chain dApps. Definitely, that's the way to go. I think it's still really early days, and some of the challenges about this is that there's a lot of unknowns. So there's stuff that we won't know and discover until we're there. And sometimes we need to be mindful that we're putting what we are exposing and what we're putting at risk. On previous Q&As and AMAs that we had, somebody asking, so what could be a potential attack vector on Metapool, right? And right now we're using the native staking contract. So basically Metapool is just a bot. And so, yeah, we believe that we're not exposing users to risk, but you never know, right? And that's also, if you go to nerdwallets.com, you go all the way down, there's a disclosure there, right? The legal stuff that, hey, all of this is in beta. Please be mindful. Please do not risk everything that you got on the platform. We do appreciate your support, but please do not risk more assets that you can afford to lose. That, I think, goes foremost, right? I'm doing this as our best intentions is to support your token holders, but at the end of the day, when you're doing cross chain, when you're bringing some technology or inspiration from other layer ones into here or any blockchain protocol, there's always gaps in knowledge that you're going to be dragging along, and you just need to be really transparent on what you're building, and just take it from there, right? But I think community support is the cornerstone for anything blockchain related. So yeah, Rian, yeah. I think that's part of sometimes. I know everybody wants to be the ape with the diamond hands, but not everybody can be that lucky, my friend. But really appreciate your support. If you want to risk it all with us, because we certainly are risking everything on this, a lot of time developing it and being prepared for it. But this is what it's all about, right? If you're not nervous, then you're launching too late. So thanks, Oren, for your comment.
Yeah, it's interesting that magic money is different than real money. So when people make money with crypto, it just doesn't feel the same. So I think people they're more likely to throw their coins around and see where they stick and multiply than with real money. A recent example on Twitter, which I think is hilarious but accurate, is people being like, I just bought a $2,000 NFT, but I don't want to spend $250 on like an office chair. And I'm like, accurate. It happens.
Yeah,
although I must
exactly.
confess, I recently invested in a stand-up desk, and it is probably the best thing I've bought all year, even considering the NFTs I've purchased.
Well, let's hope we change that on August 23rd, my friend. So Thomas, any questions you got? Any comments you'd like to share?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good so far. I don't know if there's any more community questions.
I think I do have a question, if I may.
Go right ahead, Sophia.
Yeah, so I mean, I know that you said that there are a lot of unknowns there, which is completely reasonable. I'm wondering about your vision, actually. If things go well, or at least as planned, how do you, what's the long vision for, I don't know, let's say 1 year from now? Do you have any thoughts or insights on that? I'm really curious.
Yeah, so definitely, like I told before, right? We're gonna keep building on the meta pool. So one of the things is that can we provide now we're covering more the use case of the token holder, NEAR token holder, diversifying it. Then another use case is for validators, right? We had a good conversations with a couple of them, and right now what the bot does is that it analyzes all of the validators, and then based on that it allocates the NEAR. But we're not providing any feedback mechanism back to the validators, and I think that's really important. It's open up the conversation on it. Also, kind of like a marketplace of validators, right, where users can go ahead and see. I know there's a stakingrewards.com. I think there's a couple of other websites that show the healthiness of the validator ecosystem, but I think it's bringing more information to validators and to users as well, in order to have better conversations and an open conversations about the state of the network, which is really important. One thing that we're also concentrating on is we have we're really close with the NAR Wallets team. So in the next release of the NAR Wallets Chrome wallet, you can liquid on stake directly on the Chrome browser. So that's coming up the ranks. We believe that a lot of these integrations are important, facilitating, for example, Metapool. You can use the app on the mobile phone as well, and we believe that that's a use case not being addressed by other liquid staking solutions. And so that's coming down the road. It's just facilitating features, services, and also channels for validators and users to have better communication and strengthen the network. So that's kind of where we're heading, Sophia.
All right, makes sense. Thanks.
Claudio, I'm just wondering, I don't know if you guys have had any sort of like modeling or analysis of the existing validator makeup and whatnot, but I'm wondering if you guys have any theories or any projections on how having liquid staking may actually influence the staking makeup of the network. My hypothesis would be that if people can have access to the liquid stake or the capital is not locked for staking, we can actually see a lot more NEAR getting staked because people can then use that money, I guess twice technically would be a way to look at it. So I'm wondering if you guys have any take on it, the impact that would have on the security of the network, making it presumably much more secure, enabling it to scale.
Yeah, well, and this ties in perfectly to where the validator initiative for NEAR protocol is heading, right? So last Monday we had a good open discussion, and Jane Wang basically gave a little bit of an alpha leak that they're looking into instead of block producers, chunk producers, and I believe that's really keen because right now, if you want to be a validator node, you have to have 1.5 million NEAR. If you're going to be a chunk producer, it's going to be 50,000 NEAR, which is, to be honest, it's still quite a bit of a big sum. But it's something that if guilds get together, we can pull in resources in order to provide that. And I think this is something that's an opportunity that we will definitely leverage with Metapool. It's just because we have more of a community outreach. We have the institutional outreach as well, but we're focusing this for more of a community-driven platform. And hopefully that'll provide some good air coverage there in providing the more ways of using NEAR. That's I think it's a key part of it, and part of that is also launching a peg NEAR solution.
Nice. Yeah, I listened to the AMA last week, but I'm not going to lie, I was multitasking, so some of the concepts registered, but it didn't quite click, I think. Yeah, the chunk producer, I learned of the chunk producer. I just didn't remember how much NEAR was needed to get it started. I mean, 50,000 NEAR is not that much. It's about half my NFT collection.
But still a chunk of money, right? It's still a chunk
of money. Yeah. I'm just wondering, what would be the distinction then between a block producer and a chunk producer? Like, would the NEAR rewards be split amongst the two? Or
I think that's a question more for Jane, to be honest. I did ask on the open discussion, like if she had a link or anything. So I think that's coming hopefully in draft, getting reviewed by legal and hopefully released next week. But I do not know. So I'm not going to put words into Jane's comments.
She's the gold standard for alpha leaks. She said it all, but we didn't get anything anyway. So.
Yeah, for sure. So we're coming into last leg of this. Really want to be mindful of everyone's time, especially yours, Alejandro. This is going to be almost 2 a.m. on your time.
I'm standing now to stay awake.
Thomas, you have any closing remarks? Any closing questions from the audience? If you have any last questions, now is the time.
Yeah, I think this is really exciting as just a NEAR token holder. As we all are in the community, it's just another opportunity to kind of consolidate the staking mechanism. I think it's really, what I want to see. I think as virtual we'll do a deep dive on activity on staking, the reward mechanisms, and just seeing, like what we mentioned before is like, are we going to see a lot of people unstaking and then restaking with Metapool? So it's going to be exciting to see what the users are. And another thing with the DeFi platform, I think there's a lot of opportunity. We said, you can stake and then you can also use the stNEAR. So there could be opportunities with that. So I don't know. It's just, I have to do more research into it. But definitely I will be participating in Metapool and seeing where that takes.
Thank you very much, Thomas. Sophia, you wanna any closing remarks?
Yeah, sure. I would say I'm really excited to see how this all evolves, and it's nice to see people like you and I mean all of us pretty much like being there for the long wing and actually thinking about the users in the long perspective. I think it's really important, especially in this early phase. So yeah, best of luck with all of this, and whatever support Open Web Sandbox can provide to you, you're always welcome to come to us.
Alejandro, you want to wrap this up?
Yeah, thanks so much for everyone for showing up. Really excited to be part of the initiative, excited for Metapool. Make sure that if you are migrating stNEAR over, you start on staking now, because it takes about 52 hours. And also maybe check the Explorer beforehand. And if you're the last person holding the bag and keeping the network together, maybe wait for a week or so. But no, it's going to be really, really exciting, and keep it up. As always, if you have any feedback for the project or anyone involved, OWS, Silicon Craftsmen, Zucchini Fries, anyone, let us know. And yeah, keep in touch.
Perfect. So yeah, you got the website right there. Make sure you click on it. Sorry that it's not clickable on here, but at least you saw it. Also, Merchants of NEAR, thank you very much, Thomas, for taking the time and being part of this. Again, the Open Web Sandbox, thank you very much, Sophia, for providing the platform in order for us to stream today. And yeah, if you have any questions, yes, please shoot us a tweet, Metapool. We're on Twitter. Make sure you use the hashtag LiquidMate as well. So thank you very much, everybody. See you on the 23rd of August. We're also going to be launching on Product Hunt. So we'll be sharing also the link there so you can upvote and just get the word out there that the NEAR ecosystem is launching some cool platforms as well. So be on the lookout there. And everybody, thank you very much. Startup Pause, Rebecca, Hakuna, Chloe, Ren, thank you very much. Sam, I know you're busy right now, but thank you very much for providing also the air coverage. And who else was here?
I thought Sam was going to be the DJ.
Bernard, thank you very much for your comments as well. Luz. So everybody, you stay safe. Have a good one, and hopefully we'll see you on the metaverse. Cheers. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.